The Back to the Future trilogy. You either love it or you're a psychopath. Anyways, I actually, I sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, but I actually have a really kind of personal attachment to these films. Because quick little history check is in 2018, I was going through some tough things. There's a whole bajumble. And I found this old movie. I was like, huh, I haven't seen this in forever. And I remember them being good anyways, so I'll and see what happens. It's my favorite trilogy, and I kind of watched it, let's just say a whole bunch throughout 2018, didn't watch it a single time during 2019, so this is like, first time watching it since the Great Depression. I love all of these three films. They're like teenage years, right? It's Back to the Future night with the boys, even though I haven't done that yet, I've only watched them by myself. I don't want there to be a fourth film. For pretty obvious reasons, right? Like, who wants, another... It'll be like, we got new Star Wars stuff, got new Jurassic Park stuff, we got new Ghostbusters stuff, we got 2 Ghostbusters reboots in, the year. In 10 years, I meant. So, yeah, right? So many things are just like, oh, hey, you remember Jumanji, that childhood movie you loved? Well, we're doing it again. So they can't, I don't know. I don't want that to happen with Back to the Future. Not unlike all those other films I mentioned. Let's just not judge their quality. I like the new Jumanji films. Let's just say I don't really like Ghostbusters, the 2016 one. Ugh. But if there was, I gotta say, Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. feel like the only choice for the 2 leads, being Marty and Doc, right? We already know they have great chemistry. What's the worst that can happen? But the big problem with that, though, is that, I'm from Alberta, Canada, and there's no Albertan Pride in that cast so far, but with the original cast, Michael J. Fox, he is from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Pretty chill city. But yeah. So I'm like, with this new casting, there's no Albertans. That's a problem, obviously. Spoilers! As we jump into reviewing these 3 bad boys. Spoilers! Great spoilers, because these are pretty good, actually. They're really good, and you need to go watch them if you haven't. Why haven't you watched them yet? They're so good. So leave this right now, go watch them, come back. Okay. Back to the Future. Instant classic when it came out in 1985. I guess I wasn't alive in 1985, but I'm pretty sure everyone knew it was going to be an instant classic. It's simple but complex. That's my first point I have here. You may be wondering, what does it mean to be simple? Simple, yet complex. And well, I feel like that is, it's you got, let's just say, use Minions and Inception as 2 examples. Minions, way, way too simple. But, let's say I wake up on a Sunday morning. I'm tired, because I totally party, right? Like all cool kids do nowadays. Let's say I partied Saturday night, right? I'm, way too tired to watch Inception. But Minions is a horrible movie. You should never watch Minions. But in the middle, we have Back to the Future. It just masters the scale of complexity that you can watch it on a Sunday morning after a good party. But, it's not, predictable as, a cookie cutter. I think when I push down, the cookie will be cut. Good job. Anyways, that's all I gotta say about that. The actors have great chemistry. That's pretty self-explanatory, but, I don't know, they're just so fun. Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox, great chemistry. Anyways, it's really funny. This movie strikes out of the park. There's something about it. I think, did I already I either made a video on it or made a video on it, but messed up in the making process and it was never uploaded. But I may or may not have uploaded an entire video on that. Beautiful sets. Like, these sets, imprinted in my brain. Like, even just something as a simple, like the shot where we first hear the power of love by Huey Lewis, right? And, like, Marty McFly is skating out of Doc's, like, garage. Anyways, and he, like, passes a Burger King. Like, everyone remembers that Burger King as the Burger King from Back to the Future because these sets are so amazingly memorable. That's, like, I don't think it's probably, like, the most famous Burger King out of them all, maybe except for the first Burger King to ever be invented. Okay. Yeah, it has really fun action sequences. I mainly got to point out the thrilling scene where George McFly finally stands up to Biff to save Lorraine in the whole car fiasco, right? That favorite scene in any movie of all time. Love it. That whole Wambo Jambo, that is... I love the action in that. Because, like, it's not like there's, like, whoa, big explosions, but, like, yes, it's, like, intense, and, like, your muscles are all, like, cramped, because you're, like, ah! And the other one I gotta point out is probably the obvious skateboard chase scene, where it ends with, like, what kind of became a tradition for these movies, is, someone whose last name is Tannen gets a mouth full of manure, and they hate it, right? Yeah, so that's kind of like this thing that goes down. Okay, what do I have next? Sorry, I can't really see my horrible chicken scratch writing, and because I wrote a lot about these movies here. Okay, obviously this film was made in 1985, and it's a science fiction film. Like, you know, like, let's look at other science fiction films from that time. Do they hold up that well with their CGI? In part, yes. It's in parts, yes, and in parts, no, right? Like, but this one, I can name, like, 2 things that look pretty, that have not aged well, and everything else for the CGI aged amazingly. And it's the bolt of lightning when it strikes the clock tower and it, like, slowly kind of cripples down the wire. And Marty McFly's hand fading as he plays Earth Angel. Okay. The score, everything else, like fire trails, beautiful. Those fire trails look so good. Besides the fact that maybe during that one shot, Michael J. Fox's foot should be on fire, but tells the fire looks great. The score, so good. Like, you know, I'm not just talking about, like, Huey Lewis, The Power of Love, and Back in Time, 2 of my favorite jams, but, like, Alan Silvestri, yes, it's a science fiction film, but it's also quite small in scale, because it's kind of more, my opinion, it's a bit more of like a teen comedy than a science fiction film. It's kind of like a teen comedy flipped on its head. I quite view it well as, but the score is, like, so, like, powerful, like, yeah, da 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 da, right? Really, large in scale. And, like, this film made the DeLorean so famous. Like, it was super, super famous after this, right? Everyone knows what a DeLorean is, but, like, before that, those first 4 years of its existence, it was just a really bad car. That's all it really is. Anyways, actually, fun fact, there was never originally planned a sequel. The to be continued thing was first was not in the theatrical cut, but only the home video cut because of its. Everyone's like, whoa, because, like, the full entire flying car ending thing, that was kind of just like a little fun joke for the end. But then everyone's like, yo, when's part 2 coming out? And then part 2 came out 4 years later in 1989, which let's get into right now. Okay. This is not my least favorite. I still love it, though, out of all the films. The score, action, actors, and the comedy is still really good. Biggest problem here is the CGI did not age as well. Just because the first one, a lot of it is practical, right? Except a couple things here and there. I heard they finished filming 2 weeks before it was released in theaters, so like you could kind of see that. But here, the CGI, like you have the giant hologram shark and the giant like flying cars and hoverboards. Is it as good? Maybe, but like still. Okay, Back to the Future Part 3. Originally, actually, here's another fun fact for you. Originally, 2 and 3 were in one just big script, and I'm like, oh, we gotta cut this down. It's like, oh, what about right here? And I was like, yeah, sure, karate chop, bam, 2 movies. Anyways, so this is 1990, right? I gotta say, this has a better score than the original. Like, sadly, my favorite out of all the Back to the Future like music pieces is actually not in any of the movies, but it's for the trailer for Part 3. Like, you could go Google it right now if you want, or after you finish this video, of course. But it's really good. Anyways, this has, I think, also the best action, but it's introduced me to the westerns, and also great sets. Like, I don't know, something about it, man. It's just like, this is so good. I knew this was good, right? I was like, there we go. This is so better than Part 2. So, yeah, that's kind of all I really got to say about the movies. Like, so much to say about Part 1, but the other 2 are pretty standard. Still great, though. You should watch them. If you haven't yet, I spoiled it because even you didn't listen to my thing at the beginning, because these are so good. And if you haven't seen them in a while, I recommend going back and reviewing them. Like, hey, look at things. Again, this is my probably most rewatched film, Trilogy, and film, being the first one. Yeah. Anyways, hope to see y'all peoples later, and and your future isn't written. No one's is. So make yours a good one.